tip between the black keys of the piano, a tampon in the Venetian blind. I had a Tiffany crystal clock with a gold band at the circumference. I put my diaphragm around it. The next morning, Todd, who was helping me pick up all this stuff, found it and said, "Mom, where do you want me to put your knee guard?"
Richard Rodgers Beatty, born 1952, was originally named Jeffrey Todd Beatty, but his maternal grandparents, never having had any boys of their own, were so outraged at what they perceived as a slight to the patriarch and applied such cataclysmic pressure that the name was changed to appease them. The boy was still called Todd, though. One Richard Rodgers was enough.
We also played the hearing game, in which we blindfolded all the kids and made noises they had to identify. Nails on an emery board, the water falling of a deck of cards, and rhythm, a kind of name that tune, but just with the beat, not the melody. Oh, and sardines, in which the person who's it hides somewhere, and when you find him, say perched on a shelf inside a closet, you have to climb in there with him until gradually you are left with one person still looking and everyone else incredibly stuffed in a closet full of people.
For this, you need a large Victorian house.
And skin. For that game, you masked someone's entire body beneath sheets and blankets so you couldn't make out their form at all, leaving just one small patch of skin exposed. The players had to guess what part of the body it was. Sometimes it was something perfectly innocent, like a kneecap. Sometimes it wasn't. That was more of an adult game. We played it, along with many others, at Steve's.
Again, if you don't know who Stephen Sondheim was, 1930 to 2021, you're probably not reading this.
Steve and I played a game the first time we met. This was at Highland Farm, Oscar Hammerstein's home in Bucks County, in the summer of 1944. Steve was one of the semi-orphans and sad strays with rotten parents whom Aki, as we called him, and his wife Dorothy—
Yes, another Dorothy. She started out an actress and became, what else? A decorator.
were always quasi-adopting, including the Fae and fascinating Sherwin Lynch, and the mysterious, haughty Margot de Volchier, who was either a royal descendant of some unidentified mini-kingdom like Liechtenstein, or maybe an escapee from Staten Island. Who knew?
The daughter of a French vicomte and a San Francisco socialite, Margot de Volchier, 1928 to 1985, had 4 children, 2 husbands, and at least one spectacular divorce. Shawn Lynch, born 1929, became an unofficial ward of her mother's friends the Hammersteins after surviving the Blitz in London. In 1948, she received what Walter Winchell called a diamond sparkler from the journalist Dwight Whitney. They later married and had several children.
I guess I'd come with my parents. Maybe Daddy and Aki were working on Carousel, which opened on Broadway the next spring. Anyway, there we were. A 13-year-old girl, fat and ungainly, as my father kept telling me, and a 14-year-old boy genius with a crazy, narcissist divorcee of a mother who'd put him in military school, which he loved.
Etta Janet Fox Sondheim, appropriately enough known as Foxy, had recently gotten a Mexican divorce from Steve's father, Herbert. Herbert was a dress manufacturer, Foxy, his star designer.
With nothing in common except R, me, and H, him, what do? You play chess. 3 games. He beat me fiendishly, took no time at all. Once we ran through that, we went to the piano, where he played either Rhapsody in Blue or An American in Paris. I didn't know those Gershwin things, oddly enough. Growing up, I only went to Daddy's musicals. At home, he never played Gershwin records. He didn't play records much in general, but in specific, he didn't play Gershwin, the only composer he might have envied. Well, maybe not the brain tumor part. Or maybe even that. I was dazzled by Steve, completely stunned. I knew right away he was brilliant. He just reeked of talent, which not illogically was always the biggest turn-on for me. I married 2 tall, blue-eyed men.
Tall, blue-eyed husband number 1, Julian Jerry Bonner Beatty, Jr., 1916 to 2011.